Oh man, we're here again. We're here again, people, to talk about another defeat to an albeit top four side. I know, so you can't ask for too much, apparently. But fuck it, of course I can. It's my club. I can ask for what I want. What I want to see is a clue, pride, passion, some sort of way of kind of navigating playing, because what I'm seeing from first half to second half is two different teams altogether. Now, there's a lot to break down in this, so hopefully you've got yourself a cup of tea if you're listening in as well. As always, feel free to jump in the comment section and add your 2 cents or whatever you want to add. But let's discuss this. So, as you can see by the scoreline, Manchester United 3, Newcastle United 1. Another defeat that leaves us just teetering above the relegation zone. 3 points adrift from Fulham that are right behind us. Obviously, they're coming off the back of another win as well. So, listen, by this time next week, we could be in the relegation zone. And we've got Wolves up next. But let's discuss this game. So, Manchester United, again, what can you say? I mean, we don't usually tend to do very well against Manchester United. Let's face it. But to go out like that is just disappointing, to say the least, man. So, to start off with, where do we go? The starting lineup. Now, there's cause for debate, which I'm sure people want to get onto as well, about the whole Darlow Dubravka situation. After that performance today, Darlow's no more. We've stayed loyal. We've done it fairly. You know, Darlow's saved us enough this season. But to have 2 goals beaten on your near post, albeit against Manchester United, I don't even care if it's against Wrexham, to get beaten on your near post for 2 goals, probably the first one's worse than the second one, albeit they're both as bad as each other, in fact. Yeah, that's cause for concern. This back line as well, Kraft has to go. He cannot start no more. I don't like to see round pegs in square holes or whatever the saying is, but I'd rather have Isaac Hayden there because Kraft was getting ripped to pieces. As you can see, for the first goal, he got torn a new one by Rashford, absolutely embarrassed. In the second half, it's the same thing again. There was a reason why they put Rashford out left instead of Martial, and he was having absolute joy there. Lascelles and Clark, I believe, in the centre. Again, it is what it is. And then Jamal Lewis as well. His decline is terrible. Like, I don't know if he's going to be worth £1 million by the time this end of the season, because we signed him literally at the start of this season for £15 million. And Norwich City, once again, have had our pants pulled down with those valuations, because £15 million for that Jamal Lewis right now is looking an absolute shambles. I've not even got onto the game yet, so don't worry, I've seen your comments, guys, but I just need to tear into this starting lineup, because what I'm seeing right now is an absolute shambles. I can blame Bruce all I want, but essentially it's the 11 players plus more coming onto this pitch, playing, and I'm not seeing nothing from them. Midfield, Hayden, Shelby once again gone missing. Might as well call him Casper, mate, because he goes ghost, mate, because I'm not seeing nothing from him. Absolutely nothing, offering nothing. Don't tell me about the one game that he turns up for and everyone starts putting him in for the England squad. No. For these games, when you're on 60 to 80 bags a week, this is what we need you to be turning up. And this is where we need you to be pulling strings like a violin. But no, I'm not seeing nothing. No heart, no commitment, not even bothered half the time. Do you know what I mean? What strengths are we playing to? I don't understand it. What are we getting from him? Hayden, again, having to mop up all of his mess. ASM obviously got the goal, but again, not one of his best performances. Miggy Almiron going back to what I said before, running around like a headless chicken, no direction whatsoever. And then who else do we have? I mean, obviously started Joe Linton up top, who went off. Probably the best thing he's done all game, in fact, all season. Now I can start getting into this game. In fact, let me shout out the people in the comment section first of all. Thomas, shout out to you. Bruce out, mate. I really feel it. Like his Man United bias was beaming through today. Absolutely beaming through today, because when you're making substitutions like taking ASM off, albeit he had a bad game, but bringing on whoever, Taking off Miggy Almiron, I think he brought on Gale. Brought off Joe Linton, obviously he had an injury, he should have probably even started, to be fair. Why is Carroll still on the bench? Best of a bad bunch, in my opinion. It just makes no sense. So for me, that's your Man United bias coming through. That's the only way I can describe it, because going into the first half, we're drawing 1-1, we scored at Old Trafford. Go figure. What you said to them at half-time, I don't know. Was you putting in your lunch order, your dinner order, or did you miss that part? Because again, that's when you're supposed to be geeing people up. But to have our pants pulled down in the second half is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. Shout out Statman, keep eating 40. Hashtag Bruce out. Why is Bruce still not pricking Dubravka? Look, he's got to. I said it earlier before you joined in, mate. He's got to now. Dubravka's now got to be put in. The whole stick and by Dala thing, we've done that now. Cool. I can see it. I think I was the last of everyone to say what's Dala done wrong to be dropped. Now Dala's got to be dropped. Thank you very much. Cheers for your service. He's still going to get paid, obviously. But Dubravka is our number one for a reason. He goes back into the side because 2 goals at your near post. Sorry, that should not be happening. So, yeah, Dubravka back in for me in the next game. And again, we definitely need that sort of leadership against Wolves in the next game. Dino84, shout out to you, mate. Bruce must be happy his team won. Look, this is what annoyed me, and surely he must know when there's a camera in front of him. He's going down the I don't know if you guys saw it as well, going down the tunnel with Ole, not even doing that, smirking. Mate, you do know there's going to be thousands of Geordies watching, thousands of Newcastle fans watching that performance, and you're smirking to your old teammate going down the tunnel, mate. No, we don't want to see that, man. Keep that behind the scenes. You know for well that there's a camera in front of you. You know for well this is being televised to everyone. We don't want to see it. We know you play for Manchester United, but right now you're managing our club. So when you're managing our club, I don't want to see no smile on your face. Flipping hell, man. Mitchell Balson. No banter. I've literally just stuck 30 quid on you lot going down. I really like Newcastle, mate. I think that's probably a sound investment, and that's not even me trying to have fun with it. We are looking like a relegate. We're looking like a beaten side right now. Fulham are in form. They're winning games. Lookman's on form. Maja's on form. Loftus-Cheek's on form. I can't name one player that's on form for us at the moment. I really can't. I'm struggling. Yes, ASM scored today, but again, they had him marked out the game. And it's easy for any opposition that plays against us. Mark ASM, and that's it. Or Miggy might have a decent performance every now and then. But apart from that, that's our one threat done, gone. Wilson's at the team. Whatever we need to stick in him, whether it be a COVID vaccination, whether it be a BCG, whatever, we need to get him back before the end of the season because we cannot survive without Callum Wilson in our side. This is what happens when we do not recruit properly. We let Mutu go out. He was shoddy anyway. Carroll's still on the bench. We bring on Gale and Joe Linton, who Gale's not really interested in this club. And Joe Linton is an absolute fraud. There's no way he's Brazilian. And that's what happens when you do not have a backup striker. Josh King was available. He ends up at Everton. Fair play to him. But could we have lured him in? You know, we've pretty much got the whole Bournemouth staff here already. Maybe we could have brought him in. I don't know. But to have one striker that you rely on. I knew we can't rely on one striker for one whole season. That makes no sense. Suspensions, injuries, cards, all of it. Out of form. Why would you rely on one player? And that's where we're down now. We're now in the next game going to have to either rely on Gale, Joe Linton, or Carroll. What is that? What is that? That makes no sense, bro. So, sorry, Statman Keith. 40. Question, do you think the team playing worse and less quality than the side that went down in 2008? That's hard. That is hard. Because at least, well, when Shearer came in the season that we went down, he got something out of us. He got sort of a revitalization, even though we went down. Rafa came in too late. You know, it's clear as day. I think someone put it up on Twitter, like McLaren got sacked. I think it was on 24 points. In fact, this is one for you, Statman Keith. I think I retweeted as well. So if you follow me on Twitter, find it for me. 24 points from 25 games. I think Bruce has got less than that or something around those lines. And we still have not got rid of this absolute fraud. There's no amount of Graham Joneses that you can bring in to flip and get a new bounce out of this team. It's just him. They're not playing for him. We've got the team. We've got players that can play, albeit Wilson's out. We still can get results, but I'm not confident with this guy in charge. So to answer your question, I think this team is worse than both of them. At least those times we made something. We made something happen. We brought in Shearer. We tried to bring the whole the boys coming home sort of scenario. We brought in Rafa, you know, a guy that if he had more time, probably would have kept us up. But this time round, what have we done? We brought in Graham Jones. Like, imagine comparing. No disrespect, Graham Jones might have more coaching qualifications than Alan Shearer, but again, like, people want to probably play more for Alan Shearer than a Graham Jones. And Rafa Benitez, hands down, come on. Do I even need to explain that anymore? Spineless. That's one word to describe it. I think spineless, shambolic. I don't know. It's just I don't know where else to explain it, because all I'm just going to come out of is just bare expletives. That's all I can say. I noticed that was shot from my behalf. No, I expected that. I don't know about that, man. I just said on Twitter that I'm not watching another Newcastle game while we're under my cash. Mate, do yourself a favour, man. Like, do yourself a favour, watch something else, because that is just rubbish, bro. I hate Man United. Boy, they're doing what they're meant to do, man. They're doing what they're meant to do. For them, it's just another routine win. For us, this is make or break. Because I know one of you guys will get up the next set of fixtures. All I know is that we've got Wolves up next and Fulham have got Palace up next. So I do it one game by one game. But I know we've got a run of games and it is not looking good for us. Parker can smell blood now. Listen, mate, if you're Scotty Parker, and look, I still consider him a fan favourite at Newcastle, but he's got a job to do. Do you know what I mean? His job is to keep Fulham in the Premier League. And with like 6 loan players, it's looking possible. All he needs to do is just suck one team in. And that's going to be us. Of course, it's going to be us. So fair play to Scotty Parker. If he managed to do it, then boy. I hate Man United fans. Okay, cool. See Bruce at the end. Yeah, that's what I just said earlier, Dino. Like, look, you know full well that there's no way Steve Bruce, in all of his years of management, knows that there's a guy who's going to have a camera in front of him, and he's not going to have it pointed at him. And he's smirking. He's smirking, bro, knowing that we're at home hurting. Do you know what I mean? Know how much we're hurting? A, not to be there, but B, to watch that performance. And you're smirking with your mate of yours. At least take that downstairs into the changing room or something like that, man. It's rubbish, bro. We could all be in the National League and we still be in relegation, but I don't know what to say about this guy. Absolute forward, bro. Irish Tune, probably one of the worst second halves I've seen in my life. Show with a shocker, but we take off Almiron and ASM. Bruce having a laugh of Ole en route to championship. Mate, you just summed it all up, man. Like, I do not know why we keep persisting with Shelby. Shelby is offering us nothing. Nothing. That was it. The other person, Willock, who's obviously the other central midfielder. Again, he's just going to get written. Luckily, he's only with us temporary. But Shelby's offering us nothing in the centre of the park. Nothing. At least bring the 2 Longstaff brothers in and they'll want to be fighting for their hometown club. Shelby, for him, he doesn't have no affiliation to the club. The only thing he's here for is to get paid. At least bring in the Longstaffs, see what they can do. I don't want to see no Jeff Hendricks start back in our team. Bring in the Longstaffs back in, see what they can do, because we're running out of midfield options. All we've got is a guy on loan from Arsenal. We've got Isaac Aiden, who's holding down the whole of our central midfield, and the 2 Longstaff brothers and Shelby. So for me, Hayden always starts. He's the first at that central midfield 5 to start every single time, and then just try the Longstaffs. For me, sit Shelby down for a little bit, sit Hendrick down for a permanent seat on that bench until we call him Splinter, and yeah, that's what we need to do. The substitutions. Let me get into that in a bit, man. Troy Deeney was available. Oh man, I know. Yeah, if Fulham win, Newcastle. Yeah, I know that already, mate. I already know. This is why it's important to have got the academy fixed when Rafa wanted. I know, man. Look, even if we did get it fixed, we still don't persist with it. Do you know what I mean? Imagine like young Elliot Anderson, like he could be playing. Imagine the 2 Longstaff brothers. They should be, at least one of them should be playing. For me now, Dummett's probably got to start over Jamal Lewis. And then I don't want to see Joe Linton no more. I really don't. Again, big up you, bro. appreciate it. Even when they weren't picking up points, Fulham were playing well, and that's the thing. The team are in form; they're picking up form at the right end of the season. We're not. We've not won in what, 4 games or something like that, something stupid like that since Everton, and we don't look convincing. And then with our main striker out, who do we call upon? This is why bad recruitment all over the shop, bad recruitment in management, bad recruitment on the pitch, and bad selections as well. It's just bad. Does this team have better players than the ones that went down under Rafa? Good question. Similar question to Statman Keith, in fact. I do not think so. I think we had better players when we went down with Rafa, I believe. In fact, though, the team that went down with Shearer, we had Damien Duff and Femi Martins and Michael Owen and stuff. That was a good team. This team, again, it's just very, look, goalkeeping wise, superb. Dubravka and Darlow, can't really fault them. Obviously, Darlow didn't have the best games tonight, but 2 good goalkeepers. We've always had that in Newcastle. But all over the pitch, it's just patchy. Very, very patchy. Up top, weak as hell. After Wilson, not much is going on. Carroll, again, spends more time in the flipping on the treatment table than on the pitch. Joe Linton, you all know what I think about Joe Linton. He's a fraud. And flipping Dwight Gale, forget about it. His allegiance is elsewhere, and rightfully so, maybe. I don't think we treated him the best, especially when it comes to the Rodman situation. So then that's what I'm thinking. Like, we've just got it's very lopsided. Do you know what I mean? When we took off Joe Linton, that was it. When we took off Joe Linton early into the first or second half, can't remember, and we basically played with no recognised striker, that just goes to show that A, Bruce's tactics is just way out, and B, the lack of recruitment is just appalling. Midfield, again, we're not playing to our strengths at all. We're playing John Joe Shelby that he doesn't want to be there, man. He's not wanted to be there for a couple of years now under Rafa. There's a reason why Rafa dropped his ass. And again, I would be dropping his ass right now. Play the Longstaff brothers. What have they done to you? Again, start playing these players that actually want to play for this club. Because Shelby doesn't look like he wants to play for this club. Newcastle should get Eddie Howe and ASAP now. I don't think now's the time to get in Eddie Howe. I mean, for a guy that literally last season took down a decent Bournemouth team, I don't think now's the time to get in Eddie Howe. I think people throw around the Eddie Howe one to Newcastle is just too easy now. I think now we need a specialist in this sort of realm that knows how to get a win out of these sort of teams at the bottom of the table. There's already one manager at one of our rivals in West Brom with Sam Allardyce. So the other one probably would be Nigel Pearson, because I think he did it with Watford, I believe, right? So that's the only other person that logically makes sense to me. But again, we're not going to get rid of Bruce now. It's too late. We're out of the transfer window. We've got, I don't know how many games more left. We're not going to get rid of Bruce. Mike Ashley's been too stubborn. I saw the reports about him speaking to flipping Rafa Benitez or whatnot. I think that was just to conjure up stories, really, because again, if he was going to speak to Rafa Benitez, you would have done it a while back when he left that team in China, and you would have brought him in straight away and said, Rafa, I'm sorry, I messed up, come and take over the reins and probably save our club. But at the moment in time, we've still got Steve Bruce in charge. We lost another game, and again, Fulham are gaining on us. As I said before, by this time next week, we could be in the relegation zone, and once we're in it, I do not think we're going to come out of it anytime soon, because again, Callum Wilson's out. We don't look like we've got all the gear but no idea. We've got Steve Bruce in charge making absolutely rash decisions with these substitutions, and it's an absolute shambles. It's an absolute shambles. So I'm sorry, but it is. Don't forget Lejeune. Again, Lejeune's probably living his best life over in Spain. Again, that's another stupid decision. Stupid decision after stupid decision after stupid decision. We let our best defender, I don't care how many injuries he's had, because we still got Andy Carroll here if we want to talk about how many injuries. We let our best defender go all the way over to Spain and probably living his best life. And then we were left with flipping. Lascelles has been flaky. Clark's holding it down. Fede Fernandez is out injured. And we're still trying to make do. Remember the run of games where we've had flipping Isaac Hayden in the back. We don't need Isaac Hayden in our back three. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what we've come down to. And we still let our best defender all the way over in Spain. That just makes no bloody sense. So, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Irish tune. So many players taking hopeless shots, going everywhere but the goal. Where's the quality? Shelby just hits on hopes every single time. I'm done with all of this Shelby talk, man. I mean, look, Shelby just needs to take a hot seat right now. Just call out, collect his 60 to 80 grand, and then just listen. End of the season, come back to London and do your thing, because there's no way playing the way you play, you want to be at Newcastle United. I'm sorry, but you do not want to be there. The only quality that we have is on the treatment table, and that's in Callum Wilson. And again, this is what happens when we do not flipping recruit. We do not recruit in January. We bring in one midfielder and no striker. We flipping with our 25-man squad. Who do we fill it up with? Christian fucking Atsu. Sorry, but Christian fucking Atsu. Like, what's he going to do anytime soon? That just makes no sense to me. So, where's the plan? Where's the plan? What idea do we do? Instead of flipping changing up the manager, like all other flipping managers have done in this, all other teams have done in this situation, we bring in a flipping solicitor, flipping real estate agent, and gets a flipping 2-win bounce, and that's it in Graham Jones. What are these players going to be doing? Looking up to a fucking Graham Jones and thinking, oh, he's going to save us. No, you see his record at Luton. Fuck me, bro. How long is Wilson out? I don't know. 7 weeks, they said, and that was a couple of weeks ago. So probably going to miss this stretch of games as well. Is crucial. We never was going to win the Man United game. We was never going to win it at the Chelsea game. But again, it would have been nice to get something out of it. I know it's contradicting myself, but at the same time, these are the ones where we usually come out and say, "Oh, we wasn't meant to get something, but we did get something." But we kind of followed what we was going to do anyway, if that makes sense. Like, we didn't win either those 2 games. Fulham have caught up on us now. 1 win, we're down there, they're up there, and it's going to be staying like that because Madge's on form. Funny enough, the old Sunderland player probably going to relegate us. Go figure. So, yeah, this team is worse than the McLaren team. I don't know. The McLaren team had, the McLaren team that flipping Rafa took over from had the likes of Townsend, a decent Shelby at the time, Wijnaldum, Mitrovic, Perez. This team here, I mean, this team's got potential. It's just managed so ineffectively. It's crazy. Yes, for you retweeted that McLaren was sacked with 24 points from 25 games, and Bruce only has 25 points from 25 games. Do you know what I mean? So the proof is there. And again, Rafa nearly kept us up. A game earlier, and he probably would have kept us up. Now we've got to rely on this clown. In fact, we're not even got to rely on this clown. We've got to rely on Fulham messing up, and then we can just maintain this. Because again, it's going to go right down to the wire. And guess who got the end of the season? You guessed it. Exactly. It's going to go right down to the wire. Oh, dear. Who was available for Newcastle to get as manager when Rafa went? I don't even think that's an issue, man. I mean, look, it's not who's available. It's who you can lure to the club. Do you know what I mean? When's the last time we've been in a situation where we can lure people in? Like, we usually just tend to get managers that are out of clubs. Like, we've lured... Look, Steve Bruce was managing a club, and we managed to get him to our club, albeit he was in the Championship, got him out of the Championship to Premier League. So, again, it's not always a case of who's available. It's like, who can you sell the dream to? Who can you sell the dream to say, look, our club is going in this direction, and it's your club's going in that direction. Or again, we can invest this into our club to make it a better, attractive offer. For me personally, I want to Bielsa from Leeds. Again, that would have taken a load of money. But if you see the way Leeds are playing and they just come up from the Championship, then it makes sense. It makes absolute sense. But again, I could be here for hours talking about that sort of stuff. Oh gosh, I think I've just jumped ahead a load. When we go down, I can see us doing a Sunday. I'm not even going to be negative. Look, when we go down, third time, there's always this thing about third time asking or whatever. Third time's a charm. I think we're going to be staying down for a while. Because again, if we've got Steve Bruce in charge, like, I don't care how many Premier League players we're going to have playing in the Championship, we're still going to have all the gear, no idea. He does not know how to manage his team. He still doesn't know what his best team is. I believe it's only today that we've seen ASM, Fraser, and Miggy all in the same lineup. That's the only time today. I'm sure of it. Pretty sure of it. And again, we had no focal point up top. Do you know what I mean? So you've got all these attacking players. Who's the guy to hold it up? Who's the guy to be the focal point for these three to feed off? Nobody. So this guy doesn't have the idea. And again, I think he's too proud to let Graham Jones be like, you know what, Graham, you've been brought in for a reason. There you go. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Do you think relegation is truly on? I do. I truly believe it. I truly believe it's on now. Bruv, this whole rhetoric about we're too good to go down is bollocks because we've gone down twice in Ashley's era. Since I've been supporting Newcastle, we've gone down twice. Twice in Mike Ashley's era. He's been here 14 years, and I've been supporting them near enough double that. You know what I mean? Before that, we was calm, we was cool, top table, top end of the table, or top half of the table, and now it's just the same old story all the time, man. Yeah, we do deserve, but no, we won't get rid of Bruce, mate, unfortunately. I wonder if ASM had. Yeah, I think he did. I think if ASM goes down with us, there's no way we can afford half of those players' wages in the Championship. Shelby's on 80 grand a week. ASM's probably not shy of that either. Who else we've got? Miguel Miron's. I think he got a new deal recently. Dubravka as well. You only got to look at the new boys we brought in. Jamal Lewis, I'm sure he's on a decent whack as well. Everyone's going to be on a decent whack. So I don't think we're going to have this relegation clauses at all. So, yeah. Was Rafa backed on that, Ashley? Bro, I mean, I know I can tell you're not a Newcastle fan, Barts, and that he definitely was not backed on that, Ashley. I think Rafa's probably one of the only managers, probably in Premier League history, to leave a club in plus in terms of money. Like, he's made a club money with all the signings and all the departures that left, albeit the big ones, probably Perez as well, made us money. Didn't bring him in, of course, but definitely elevated him to the fact that Leicester spent £30 million on him. He's actually left us in a good, better financial position than actually when he came in. So, was he backed? No. Did he get to bring in the likes of Joe Linton? No. Did he want to? No. But that's still 40 million quid down the drain. ASM, we spent 20 million on him. Rafa's biggest signing was Miguel Miron at 20 million quid, and that was previous to that. The biggest transfer that we had was Michael Owen, and that was like some years back. So to answer your question, no, he was not backed. And for some reason, Steve Bruce has had pretty much all the money that probably Rafa's accumulated and more, and he's still fucking up. Do you know what I mean? Joe Linton's brought in, Jamal Lewis is brought in, ASM is brought in. Who else is there? And then these all these odd little shitty signings, Kraft and who else is there? There's loads of them, but he spent loads of money and just wasting it, absolutely wasting it. Simply put, Newcastle United have to get results, points against Wolves, West Brom, Brighton, Burnley, West Ham, Sheffield United if they have any hope of staying up. Right, let's assess these games. Now, Wolves, they've just won. They just won against Leeds, 1-0. Traore scored. Problem. That is a problem for me because Traore is going to be, I reckon, he'll probably get switched from right wing to left wing just to focus on Kraft. Although he could be focused on Jamal Lewis and he could probably get the same results as well. I don't know what's happened to Jamal Lewis. We've absolutely had our pants pulled down by Norwich City. The fact that we've spent £30 million on two players in the last couple of years in Jacob Murphy and Jamal Lewis, and not one of them is looking promising at all. So Wolves, I'll be surprised if we get a point. West Brom, that's the one to look forward to. Away from home, albeit, but I think we could possibly get something. But again, the way Sam Allardyce will set his team up, I won't be that confident. You know what I mean? Brighton is another one. Potentially we could get something from. They're a bit Jekyll and Hyde-ish, but I still reckon they're going to cause us problems as well. Burnley, Sean Dyche is no mug. Brexit football, this is the way forward. And West Ham now. West Ham could possibly be going in Europe. West Ham could be going to Europe. Bearing in mind, we beat them at the start of the season. And look at their season since we beat them. And look at our season since we beat them. That's crazy to me. And Sheffield United, we already know what happened with them. Do you know what I mean? A team that hadn't won anything no points, pretty much. Nil point. And they come to Newcastle, get 3 easy points against us, and then we've got them again at home, albeit, but that doesn't really matter. Home, away, doesn't really matter. So out of those, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, I'll be lucky if we see 3 in this form. Lucky if we see 3, and that's clearly not enough because Fulham are on our arse, and they're only 3 points below us at the moment. It's crazy. Who's available for Newcastle against Man? Oh, I think you asked that already. We should not be looking to other teams to produce results for us. That's the way it is. That is the way it is, though. That is the way it is. We are constantly looking at other teams, i.e. Fulham, to get points for us. We've now got to rely on Crystal Palace, albeit quite a weak Crystal Palace side, to do us a favour. And will they do us a favour? Probably not. They're safe. They're okay. Do you know what I mean? They're not challenging for anything. They don't owe us anything. So we're fucked. We're shagged. Like, I can't really see nothing more than that, really. Anthony, darling, we're done. We're going down. We're not coming back this time. The club is rotten to the core. The club needs gutting. The club needs gutting. Bruce needs to go. Ash needs to go. And all of his little minions, like all of his cronies need to go. The club needs gutting from top to bottom. Yes, you could say the players are dead on the pitch. You know, the ones that are claiming are fucking robbing a living. You know, he's still got Atsu, who's part of this 25-man squad. No disrespect to him, but again, his future's done at the club. Joe Linton was an absolute waste of money, an absolute shambles. As I said before, like if you're going for our starting lineup, Jamal Lewis is regressing, and we've only had him a year. Kraft is not a Premier League footballer. John Joe Shelby doesn't want to be here. He only turns up once in a blue moon. Dwight Gower, I mean, need I say any more? Adrian, what's his name? Mutu, who's over in Spain. Again, we spent some money on him, and he's not got nothing from that. So again, we've got all these players that are just collecting dust at our club. Like the only valuable assets that we've got is ASM and Miggy Almiron, and I don't think they're going to be much longer than 2 years tops. I'd be surprised if both of them are here next season. I mean, I think ASM's done enough in his time here to warrant a bigger move in the Premier League or abroad. Same with Almiron. He doesn't look. These players don't owe us anything. So I think this is where we need to start taking some more pride in the players that we're producing homegrown. The Longstaff brothers, get them in. Dummett needs to come in for Jamal Lewis. Goalkeeper wise, even Dubravka might want to leave. Do you know what I'm saying? Darlow was on his way out this time last season and he stepped up. But what about Freddie Woodman? Give him a go. Elliot Anderson, give him a go. So I think this is what we need to start doing. I think we need to I don't know. Maybe going down is a good thing. I know I shouldn't be saying it, but I think maybe going down is a good thing because again, it's less attractive for well, I don't know if it's less attractive for Bruce because he was in the Championship this time last season anyway, or the season before that. But less attractive for Mike Ashley to stick around for. Less attractive for all of his little cronies to stick around for if we're in the Championship. If we stay down and when we stay down, then again, it's going to cost them an arm and a leg because usually when you go down, you get that nice little bumper package. But if you stay down again, that bumper package is gone. And with all these Premier League players who probably haven't got release clauses in their contracts, then, boy, it's going to be a hefty bill. It's going to be a hefty bill for your Shelby's on 80 grand a week, your Joe Linton's on 80 grand a week, your Lewis's and all of these other players are probably picking up 40, 50, 60 grand a week. So I kind of want us to go down. If it's going to better our club long term, then if we go down and stay down, then so be it. I actually enjoyed our time in the Championship. So, boy, it might be that. Daniel Kane, you're right for needs to go. But the ref Saint being fouled all game, never booking for players. Also, the game was soft, as you can see. Where's VAR? Look, Dan, we can talk about VAR and the penalties and referees all you want, but that doesn't excuse this whole season. Do you know what I mean? This is one result of a run of bad results, and we can't blame VAR and penalties for all the run of bad results. Today, we got beaten by the better team. We know Man United is a better team than us. We showed a little bit of fight, a teeny bit of fight in the first half. Second half, I do not know what was said at all in the second half. We're meant to get better in the second half, especially when we've got to hold on to something, but we didn't show any fight whatsoever. So as much as we want to blame VAR and penalty decisions and all the rest of it, we're just pants. We're just absolutely pants. Regardless of the excuses Bruce will bring tonight, the table doesn't lie. Talk is cheap when you're bringing in the points to back yourself. Hashtag Bruce out. Yeah. What is Newcastle transfer? It used to be buy young to sell on. That kind of got bent when we got Callum Wilson because he's late 20s, I believe. But at the same time, I think it's still that. I think we're still going to try and look to make a profit from ASM, which we could. If we've only bought him in for 20 million, we could easily double that. Same with Miguel Almiron, we bought him in for 20 million. I think we could double that. So that is the transfer policy. Now, sometimes we need to go against that like we do with Wilson and just go with some experience. So we should have brought in the likes of a Troy Deeney if he was available to back up Callum Wilson during these times, because that's when you need your people that are going to fight for you. Not flipping Joe Linton, who, bless him, he doesn't know about flipping relegation zones in the Premier League. He's clearly not a Premier League player because he scored most of his goals against flipping League One opposition. So our transfer policy just needs to be ripped up and started again. We had a brief run years ago under Pardew and stuff when we was bringing in the French lot, and that was okay. Do you know what I mean? We done a lot more hits than misses with the likes of Kabais and Debussys and all the rest of it there. But now I do not know what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? It's just hit and miss. It is very hit and miss. Daniel Kane again. Balls on the mugs. They'll be right up for our formation. Look what they did against Leeds, high pressing. Yeah, exactly that. And could you imagine Traore up against either Kraft or flipping Jamal Lewis? Absolutely ruin us. So that's why I'm pretty much writing this. I'm pretty much writing that one off as well. I think this time next week we will be in the relegation zone, man. Shout out to you, Mohammed Omar. Sorry, but don't think Longstaff brothers are the answer. Bro, if they aren't the answer, then what's the question? I mean, what else can we bring to the table? What else? Because Shelby's not turning up. Hendrick, I do not want to see in a black and white shirt again. Please, no. That's all we've got left. We've got the two Longstaff brothers, Matty and Sean. And again, once they're played in their correct positions, Sean a lot further forward, Matty can sit and fight. Then I think those are the two that we've got left. Bearing in mind, we've only got 5 in midfield. You know what I mean? We can't include Shearer in that now either. Not that he played very well anyway. But we've only got Hayden, who starts every game, Shelby, Hendrick, and then they're two Longstaffs. That's it. We can't include anyone else. So we've got to try something different because this is clearly not working for us. Yedlin or Kraft, another good decision. I mean, look, Yedlin was bad here as well. But then I'm seeing this morning, Yedlin's flipping already got an assist in the Turkish league already. And Kraft, again, got ruined, absolutely ruined by Rashford. I mean, not to say that Yedlin probably would have got ruined as well, but I just think they're both as bad as each other. But again, that goes down to recruitment. Why are we not recruiting better right backs? We needed a better right back. We need another striker. So, I don't know, baffled, man. It's not only a quality issue, it's an attitude issue. It's been an attitude issue for years. Like, when we come up against quote-unquote better teams, we just kind of go to flipping pot, innit? We piss it up. Like, we just don't show any fight. And at least under Rafa, we tried. You know, that shot victory against Manchester City, I remember it. Gary Neville was so negative. He was like, oh, why did you play like that for? We still got a result. Play Man City under Bruce, pants pulled down, mate. Do you know what I mean? In that FA Cup. I remember it, clear as day. So the attitude's there, like it's all, and it's the mindset as well. The mindset's always against, it kind of filters over to the fans as well. When we see the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United back to back, we write it off. But really and truly, it's 11 versus 11. Do you know what I mean? Unless we go now to 10 men, it's 11 versus 11. Your men versus our men on a pitch. You should be able to flip and have a go. So it's not only just the attitude, it's the mentality. Obviously, the quality is not there. But again, you know what I mean? It's not exactly men against boys. I mean, it looks like men against boys. But at the same time, it should not be that easy. Getting estate agents a bad name. I'm sorry, but with the Graham Jones thing, it's just jokes, but it's just not. It does not seem attractive to me at all. Like having a Graham Jones there, but He did what he needed to do. Whether he had any influence today or not is another thing. But yeah, man. What's the AB? I met you 40 after the way Brighton versus 2 game in 2019. I had a pick to get up top like you on concert, bro. Appreciate you, man. I missed them days. Is that the game? That would have been the game that we won, innit? Obviously, Diame scored and Perez scored, right? That was good. That was part of the documentary as well. Fun times. As I said, like that was the championship game. Boy, take me back to the championship game. Subs and Mental again played half of the second half of Astra. I don't know what goes through his head. I do not know what goes through his head. Let's talk about them substitutions. So the first one was enforced. Joe Linton for Fraser, I believe. Cool. But again, this is the first time we had Fraser, Amiron, and ASM on the pitch. Love that. I want to see that more. But again, without any focal point, it goes tits up. It's no point. The second one, we took off ASM for, gosh, who did we take off ASM for? Is it for Gale? Oh, God, I can't remember now. Memory's so bad. But we took off ASM, again, the goal scorer. And then the first substitution, again, he played badly, but you take off Almiron for Gale. I believe that was the one for Gale. So who would the second one have been for? God, I'm lost. Anyway, but again, rubbish. Super Red fan, your team is crap. Your guys go, all right, cheers, mate. Like, I don't know what is that supposed to get a rise out of me or what? Like, I've literally just been spouting that for the past 40 minutes, man. That's dead. We struggled against a League Two team with a strong lineup. Say no more. Look at Brentford. You know what I mean? JB, was Rafa backed under Ashley? Never. We know full well he was not backed. You know, Rafa made his bad decisions in terms of transfers, but you know full well he wasn't as backed as well as Bruce. And if you're looking at the two managers side by side, he's backed the wrong manager, clearly. Newcastle United, 2 wins, 2 draws, 9 defeats, 8 points from 13 Premier League games. Fulham, 2 wins, 8 draws, 3 defeats, 14 points from 13 Premier League games. I mean, look at the form there, man. That is it. We're going down, man. He's back again. Rashford said Kraft back to Sweden. Yeah, I know he did. Yeah. It's too late as usual to get a permanent manager. Might as well sack Cabbage Head and get a 10-pin. But again, if we did that, I think we just do a temporary job and give Graham Jones a job. I mean, I don't know if that would be a good move or not. I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. Kraft more like crap, yep. Any difference between McLaren's team compared to this one? Was there any difference? With McLaren's team, again, that team was, the midfield was top heavy. I remember that. Because again, we're trying to figure out how to fit in Wijnaldum, Perez, Shelby, Townsend, and someone else. We're trying to fit too much in that whole midfield. So again, with this one, we've got no striker and no midfield. So I'd say McLaren's team is better, and it still went down than this one because we had at least a bit more options in it. Crap, yeah. I'm not even reading out yours anymore, mate. Liverpool fans should be happy that Liverpool never signed. Oh yeah, because it was linked with you lot. Oh yeah. Damn, yeah, you got away with that one. Don't worry. I mean, you got your own problems to sort out. I mean, I've seen your central defenders that you signed. Oi, they looking Sunday League-ish. So yeah, Fulham have got Palace, Burnley, Newcastle. Newcastle need to pick up results and hope Fulham don't get results against Spurs, Liverpool, Man City, Leeds, Wolves, Arsenal, Chelsea, Southampton, Man United. See, that's the only thing that's saving grace, the fact that they got that run of big games. Spurs, Liverpool, Man City, Leeds, Villa, Wolves, Arsenal, Chelsea, Southampton, and Man United. See, that's the only thing that's saving us, because again, we could be playing terrible and lose and win the odd one, but they've got all of those games. And despite how well Fulham are doing, boy, I wouldn't want that run, especially that towards the end of the season. Yeah, it's gone. That Jamal Lewis talent is gone. It's been left back at flipping Cara Road because I think we've got the BTEC version of him. I do not know what's going on with Jamal Lewis. That is terrible, man. Like I don't know what we've done to that kid's confidence, but boy, it is painful, man. Last couple before I shoot off. Do you think once or if Ashley leaves that Shearer or Keegan will return to the club in some sort of official position, administrative or managerial? Marcus, I do not know. I would love to. I think everybody would love the whole, um, you know, Shearer in some sort of role, Keegan in some sort of role, Les Ferdinand in some sort of role, just getting the boys back together. Will I see it happen? Probably not. It needs some sort of big financial investor to bring all that back. It's just waiting until Mike Ashley leaves, really. But will I see it in my lifetime? I do not know, because I think once Mike Ashley's done, I think he'll just pass it on to his son. I think he'll just pass it on to his son, like a little family heirloom. Like, here you go, son. I'll continue to run the real estate, because he probably bought like 50 more shops. And then Mike Ashley's son, who's, obviously he's a millionaire son or a billionaire son. Here you go, fancy running a football club for us. Do you know what I mean? Similar to like West Ham, what they did. So I can't see it being any different. So I would love to see them return, but will I? I do not think so. I really do not think we'll see that anytime soon. Problem is, Fulham has loads of draws, and they need is a lucky goal to get a win. We need a miracle to get a draw. You are right there, my son. I think we get Howe in now. He might keep us up with some lunch in the championship. No, I don't think he'll come in. I don't think we'll come for him now. He didn't manage to keep Bournemouth up, albeit probably with a better side, maybe, arguably. So I don't think we need an Eddie Howe right now. We need a guy who's used to this sort of situation. And is Eddie Howe used to these situations? Yes, from last season, but did he succeed? No. So we need someone who's used to these situations. The only person that springs to mind is a Nigel Pearson. That is it. Get him into the end of the season. Because at this moment in time, we've got Bruce or bust. That's it. I don't think Eddie Howe's the man for right now. Maybe for next season in the Championship. But albeit, you could ask why wasn't he with Bournemouth in the Championship? Because they've gone through, 3 managers now in Tyndall, Woodgate, or maybe 2 managers, sorry. So, no. There you have it. If Newcastle United go down, Bruce isn't sacked, soon club is finished. Newcastle United are already 30 million down in lost revenue from gate receipts. Bruce left Villa in 15th place in the Championship when he was sacked. There you go, man. Every club that he's been at, no one speaks highly of him at all. Aston Villa, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, Birmingham, like all the clubs that he's been at, no one can speak highly of him. And then we're left with him to flip and manage our glorious club, man. Like, if I'm being honest, like, we're the bigger club out of all of those clubs, and yet we're left with him, and he's fucking up our club, bro. Ashley's taking a huge risk on this investment. Bruce needs to be sacked now. I agree. Murphy for Edison. Thank you. That was the other one, Murphy. And again, another great signing from Norwich City. Cheers, Norwich. You've absolutely pulled our pants down. Laughing all the way to the bank with that one. I'm sure they are. Brentford have reserves against us with Blackburn and struggled against both with a strong lineup. Sissoko. Oh, that was a good. Yeah, that was the deal from earlier. No, I've seen your comments now. I can see Fulham picking up. Oh, it's Dean's and Anthony's. Oh, Pearson going Bristol City. No. Great show for you. Keep it tuned. Thank you very much, bro. Did you see Steve Bruce laughing at full time? Yeah, it's a disgrace of crowd. What motivation will that give to players? We are doomed. I know, James. I know. You know what? I'm going for 50 minutes now. I didn't realise I was going to go for this long. Thank you all for listening. Just to sum up, we are shit. And I think we might be going down. So, I'll see you guys all in the Championship. Still got games to go, obviously. We've got Wolves up next. Fulham got Crystal Palace up next. I do not know what's going to happen in that space of time. Will Bruce get sacked? Probably not. Do I want him to get sacked? Of course I do. But my team is just going down. I want to end on a positive note. Trying to think of one. I can't. Yeah, fingers crossed that we stay up. Keep tuned as always. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the next